Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host, with my co-host, Lammy Chillmeister. Today is September 20th, 2024. What are y'all doing? Y'all been good? Y'all been chilling? Got up at 3 today. Showered, shaved yesterday. I did a pre-interview with Miss McGillicuddy. I'm going to be interviewing her Sunday. So that episode should go out Sunday or sometime Monday afternoon. She talked my ear off last night, which was cool. I just wanted to touch base with her. It's going to be over the phone. Going to record it using OBS software. We did some test runs today, me and my wife, Sammy. So the audio should be good. I've only done like 3 other interviews. I did 2 with Kenneth Sterling, which he had to do a voice changeover because he's didn't want his identity known. We did a interview on meditation, an interview on, I think, Reiki, maybe. I can't remember. It was something spiritual. And then I did an interview with a male witch named CJ. So go check out those 3 interviews. And we got another one coming up. And then after that, I have another interview that's planned sometime soon of my wife's mentor. Somebody that she took my wife under her wing. It was kind of like Big Brother program. I don't know if you all remember that, but this was like a big sister program. So like, she is an older lady and took my wife in. My wife kind of stayed with her a couple times here and there, and you know, she was helping her out with homework and learning to drive and getting jobs, you know, womanhood shit, which is cool. Let me get my fan. And we're supposed to talk about local corruptness in the city of Nicholasville. As far as my wife said, there's some weird shit going on with the sheriff's department, possibly commissioner. I'm just gonna listen, because my mother-in-law was already like, honey, you're gonna get us all in trouble. You keep doing these interviews with people talking about heavy shit. I said, I don't care, baby. I'm just here to ask questions and listen for the most part. I'm going to interject here and there, but I let people speak their mind. This is a free and open environment. That's what I want this podcast to be. So that'll be fun. That's about it as far as updates. Took my schizophrenia pill yesterday. I tried a Delta 8 sucker. That was pretty cool. I bought some Delta 8 suckers from a festival in Harrodsburg a while back, and I haven't tried one yet, so I didn't have anything to smoke, so I was like, fuck it. But I didn't sit there and lick it or suck on it. I just bit it off the stick, chewed it up, and swallowed it. And I just wanted to take it all in one dose, just try it out. It's pretty good shit. But first subject. That's it for intro. First subject is Tucson rally. Donald Trump at a Tucson rally. He had a Tucson rally last week. There was the stage in front of him, and then there was a left stage and a right stage. The people in the right stage, 3 people were injured with eye problems. They started noticing like a strange smell. Then they started noticing their eyes were burning, and the victims, it was so bad for the victims that like one of them, she can't even open her eyes. She's sitting there with a cloth over her eyes. Like, it fucked these people's eyeballs up. Some people are suspecting like mustard gas, and not last episode, but the episode before, there was that car bomb, if you can call it that. It wasn't even really a car bomb, because I'm Irish, dude. I know about Irish car bombs. In the Italian mafia, used to blow people up when you start your car and shit. It was something in a bucket. The dude drug it out. Go listen to the episode. I tell the whole story. The point I'm trying to make, dude, is they're attacking rally goers at Trump rallies. And they're trying to shoot the president. Former president of the United States. We had that attempt with Ryan Ruth. I did a whole episode on it covering that. It's getting fucking nuts out there, dude. Let's see, what else did it say about the gas attack? Eye damage. It was the seating behind the stage on the right. I don't know, man. What do you all think about that, dude? I think it's fucking nuts. Hit me up in the comments. So there's a bill going on in California, giving illegals $150,000 to buy homes. $255 million worth of tax money has already been given for illegals to get houses in California. I told you last episode, someone had hit me up in the comments. I thought it was only $5,000 they were getting on EBT. I think it was like 15,000 or 1,500, 15,000 that they're getting on EBTs and shit. Grocery store clerks are taking pictures and shit. They're tired of it and they're whistleblowing. It's getting weird in America. Thank God that supposedly, allegedly, I'm going to get this house passed down to me, a trailer with some land. It doesn't matter where I lay my head is home. I have a home. I have food. I count my blessings. So I'm thankful that I have a house and a place to stay. I'm a package deal. It's my wife. You know. But I try not to make myself a horrible guest in someone else's house, you know. I wash dishes, I sweep floor, I mop, I take out the trash, I mow the lawn. All the things a man's supposed to do. So that's that. They're helping out illegals in California. Here's some weird shit about not Ryan Ruth, but the first shooter. The whole house was cleaned. When they found out where he lived, he was staying with his mother and father, I believe. Every dish was washed. All the silverware was thrown away. All the trash was taken out. Everything was wiped down. Everything was swept. What were the parents cleaning up before the FBI got to their house? Specifically DNA. Like, why were they cleaning up? Like, whose DNA? I mean, what's going on with that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they were trying to get rid of like DNA evidence and shit, fingerprints, and I don't fucking know. That whole thing's weird. They cremated apparently the shooter's body before the autopsy, which is weird. And you see that a lot, like the supposed story of what was it, Osama bin Laden, SEAL Team 6, whenever they supposedly killed Osama bin Laden, which we all know he was a CIA agent. What was his name? Osman, I believe. The helicopter transferring the body went down, you know, and then even before autopsy and stuff, they supposedly had a Muslim funeral where they sent him off to sea, which I always thought that was kind of like a Viking style funeral. Seems very pagan, because Islam is Abrahamic, so interesting stuff. Let me know if you're Muslim. I would love to interview a Muslim and learn more about it, because I'm very curious about the jinn. I know I've read some of the Quran. It's pretty short. I have a Quran. I want to read the whole thing because it's actually super short. And as weird as it sounds, I've heard Jesus is actually mentioned more in the Quran than the actual Bible itself. They look at him more as a prophet. I look at him as like an ascended master. Prophet, yeah. Teacher. Is he the son of God? I think we're all sons and daughters of God. Brothers and sisters. We are made in his image. What was I talking about? The shooter. Yeah, we're just doing random pulls today on topics. This is a pretty good pull. Tucker Carlson. I listened to his podcast. I think it's just called Tucker Carlson Podcast. But that wasn't... No, I didn't hear that on Tucker Carlson. This was Union of the Unwanted. Go check out Union of the Unwanted. It's kind of like Justice League of podcasts. They're doing re-education classes for the January 6th prisoners. Now, some people are freaking out about this, like, oh my God, this is like communism. It's a re-education camp. Jail is supposed to be... I've been to jail 3 times. Prison and jail, they're supposed to be re-educating you to put you back into society so you can be a functioning adult. I do not think this is crazy. I do think it's crazy that they're trying to re-educate the January 6th ones, that they're doing something wrong, which they didn't. They were let in and just chilling, you know, chilling like villains. Where the fuck did I put my cigarettes? But this is nothing new that they have re-education classes for inmates. Usually it's like BIP, which is what I took because I used to be an abusive person. Battery intervention program. Anger management. I've taken anger management. I've taken IOP, which is re-education to live sober. Yeah, they've been re-educating inmates forever. Wait till they find out that inmates are legalized slave labor. Yeah, slavery never ended with Lincoln. First of all, Lincoln was not the best person that everyone tries to make it out to be. I love Lincoln. I love the Kennedys. But he was not a perfect president, dude. Like, he did some fuckery, like locking up political opponents. Dude, what are you doing? Almost got in a wreck, hang on. Dude, I love filming in the parking lot, man. It's always fucking action-packed. This dude, like, has a huge-ass fucking monster truck. He almost ran over the bug in front of him. Volkswagen Beetle, punch buggy, no punch back. Gotcha. But yeah, re-education classes that's nothing new. Lincoln, look, man, back in the first Civil War, because there will be another one, I was pro-Union. I think during this one, I think Texas and Florida will probably secede. I think there will be a civil war right before, if not during, World War III. Let's see how it turns out. Let's see how my prediction goes. But I think Florida and Texas would secede. We did a whole movie review on Civil War. Go watch that movie. Go watch the movie review. It's an Awesome fucking movie. It's like the sequel to Leave the World Behind, which, by the way, I put out an episode yesterday of Leave the World Behind. Teeth. Symbolism of teeth falling out. I would join, if Texas or Florida seceded, I would join the Confederacy. Last time I would have been Union. This chick's got a blue light. Interesting. Next subject. So, down in Colombia. Is Colombia down from us? I think it's like in South America. They released 300,000 genetically modified mosquitoes down in Colombia. Before they released genetically modified mosquitoes in Hawaii, Florida, and I'm trying to remember. We did a whole episode on genetically modified mosquitoes. Go check that episode out. But they recently released 300,000 genetically modified mosquitoes down in Colombia. Next subject. Figured I'd tell y'all. So here's something cool. I gotta write that down on my ask off. Me and Sammy bought tickets. We're gonna see Sam Tripoli in Louisville, October 12th. He's doing stand-up comedy. $30 a ticket. Cheap shit. Louisville's only like an hour away from us, so I'm stoked. I think it's a 7 o'clock show, so it's not too early, not too late. Decent hour. It's a Saturday. Also, Broken Simulation is what Sam calls it. They have a call-in. I called in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on it. They opened the phone lines up again because it's getting around Halloween time and they want like paranormal stories. So I called in. I shouted out my podcast. I told them who it was. I had a little ghost story about a ghost in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. A grave of an unknown woman. People see her specter there. She danced herself to death at a local hotel. We did a whole episode covering it. Go check it out. It wasn't really a podcast episode. It was an actual paranormal investigation because me and Sammy ghost hunt. So, you might hear me on Broken Simulation. I was on Clownvis the other day. Did I tell you all about that? I was on Clownvis's podcast. He did Ernest. Y'all remember Ernest? When he was chewing up that pen in the courtroom and it broke and he got ink all over the place and he was trying to get rid of the fucking ink but not get contempt of court and kicked out. He was doing jury duty. That dude, I did a whole video going to his grave and going to Pioneer Playhouse where he started out. Jim Varney. He started off doing commercials. Hey, Vern. Cool dude. Clownvis. I got introduced to Clownvis through Sam Tripoli's. He had a podcast where he was interviewing porn stars. The Naughty Show. And Clownvis came on there one time, and he's an Elvis impersonator who dresses like a clown. He's also a clown. And he does like Elvis songs and his own songs. Jesus Christ, eating on a chicken wing, you know. He wants you to savor the flavor. Save some for later. A Jesus Christ, eating on a chicken wing. He had like still frames of Jim Varney when Jim Varney was first starting out during his Pioneer Playhouse phase. And he had me trying to guess the exact word of each still frame of what Jim Varney's expression was. So obviously they were over the top, like he's like, oh, ooh. you know, and I had to guess each one. So I was on Clownvis's podcast. That was pretty cool. He shouted me out. Hopefully I'm on Broken Simulation, this next Broken Simulation episode, because it's a call-in. They listen to it and talk about it and review it and shit. We were talking about the phenomenon of dancing plagues. There has been multiple dancing plagues throughout history where one person will start dancing in town square and then another joins in, and they don't stop. They don't stop to eat, sleep. They're sweating their balls off, and they will dance themselves into a heart attack. It's a really weird phenomenon. I guess it would be like mass hypnosis, mass hysteria. It shows you the power of the mind. Maybe we'll do a whole episode one day on dancing plagues, because it's happened 2 or 3 times throughout history of people dancing themselves to death. Cool shit. Let's get into some herbology. I want to learn about herbs and plants and self-help and shit. So, witch hazel. I don't know much about it, but the name sounds cool. Witch hazel? Witches? Maybe you aren't familiar with the plant, but perhaps you've noticed witch hazel as an ingredient found in aftershave lotion, skin ointments, eye wash, or hemorrhoid medication. Witch hazel, which is the Latin Hamamelis virginiana, is a small tree common in our forest. It usually only reaches about 15 to 20 feet in height and tends to have a thick, crooked crown with a lot of branching. The leaves are round or oval shaped with wavy edges. The bottom of the leaf at the stem is always offset, where the leaf edges don't meet the stem at the same level. The bark of the tree is light brown and scaly. The name witch hazel makes one wonder if there is some supernatural connection to the tree. And, well, maybe. Witch likely originated in the Middle English word wiche, W-I-C-H-E, which means bendable or pliable. This bendability makes witch hazel branches good for making the forked sticks called dowsing rods. I'm actually a dowser, a diviner with rods. I'm pretty good at it. I did an episode on how to make them. You can make them with coat hangers. Go check out that occult item episode if you want to make dowsing rods and play around with them. It's pretty cool. You can find water, you can find gold and silver, treasure, you can talk to ghosts with them. Used to find underground water sources. In fact, another name for finding water in this way is witching for water. My dad was a dowser. That's where I get it from. So perhaps there is a touch of mountain supernatural in the name. 2 other unusual features of witch hazel are its flowers and fruits. Unlike most trees, it blooms in early winter, usually late September through November. The flowers are yellow, thread-like, and when the fruit ripens in the early winter, it is designed to physically disperse the small, shiny black seeds. When ready, the fruit suddenly bursts open, sort of like touch-me-nots, with an explosive force that can send the seed 15 to 20 feet from the parent plant. It shoots seeds, bro. Witch hazel has been considered a medicinal plant for centuries. American Indians made tea from the leaves to treat sore throats and colds. That's good to know. Witchcraft. Witch hazel. Medicine. A tea made from the twigs was rubbed on arthritic joints. Bark tea was applied to bruises and sore muscles. In modern times, an extract of the plant is used as an astringent, causing tissue to shrink in many ointments. The wildlife value of witch hazel is rather low. The seeds are available from fall into winter and are consumed by grouse and squirrels. Deer, which is my wife, her spirit animal. Mine's rabbit. Deer will occasionally browse on the twigs and foliage. For landscaping, witch hazel makes a handsome shrub and would prefer to be grown under the shade of a larger tree. That's a picture of what witch hazel looks like. It's pretty. I wish I could do a screenshot of it. This podcast is all over the place, baby, but I wanted to do some herbology. Maybe I'll name this episode Herbology Witch Hazel. How do you like my reading glasses? So, next subject. It's a slow news day. I hope you guys are still enjoying yourselves. Here's some good hope. Forgotten technology skills are still useful. Using modern technology, do you guys believe in Skynet and shit and the Terminator and bladerunner, like the robots are taking over and they're going to take your jobs and stuff? What does Klaus Schwab say? You will still have a job. You will polish the machines. Using modern technology can be challenging to some folks like me. I used to be quite the expert in Windows 95. However, it seems technology kept moving forward and I didn't. In fact, I bought a new phone recently and the salesman was telling me that the phone was the best thing since sliced bread. Honestly, all I cared about is that the thing can make a phone call, send text, and allow me to take pictures of any interesting things. A camera. Like the time I got a potato chip that looked like Mike Tyson's head. You have to document those things. When the salesman told me that the phone cost $1,500, I almost passed out right there in front of the store. Dude, I podcast on my phone and this phone cost me like $150. Where were you at, Apple, bro? And this is a smartphone too. I go through Samsung, AT&T. I know, AT&T. I assure you that I will never, let me repeat, never pay that amount of money for a phone. Unless that phone can rub my belly and make me a sandwich. I will not be purchasing it. When I got home and attempted to activate the much cheaper phone that I purchased, I realized that I may not know what I'm doing. I fiddled with the phone, trying to get it to work, and just before I gave up and threw the phone in the garbage, I took it back to the store, and the pimply-faced teenager behind the counter activated it in about 30 seconds. As he walked away, he just rolled his eyes and muttered, "Boomer." Excuse me, I'm not a boomer, I'm Gen X and proud of it. Yeah, he may know how to download a video in seconds flat, or how to play video games with folks across the ocean, but my generation has a whole set of different skills that the youngins have no idea about. For example, they have no idea how to use a fax machine. These things were great back in the 90s. Once we all got tired of faxing pictures of our butt to our coworkers, and could be quite useful in today's times. Everyone thinks they know everything because Google told them something that was true. We all know everything on the internet is true, right? Well, have you ever heard of an encyclopedia? All you get is the information and don't have to sort through various cat videos to find it. That's good for YouTube, cat videos. Kids today just snap a picture of anything under the sun all willy-nilly. They have no idea how to put film in a camera and then jump on your bike and take it down to the drugstore to have it developed. You would have to wait 8 to 10 business days before you realize that your thumb was in front of the lens. Or the cap was still on. A young coworker asked me if I knew the phone number to a local fast food place. I laughed and said, "You can't look that up on your precious Google." Well, back in the day, we had a thing called a phone book that not only had everyone's phone number, but also their address. Today, people go to great lengths to try to hide that information, like it's top secret information. Back then, we put it out for all the world to see. Speaking of Terminator, dude, that's how he was looking for Sarah Connor, was going to phone booths and looking down the fucking address phone book like, dum 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 dum, dum 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 dum, dun 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 dun, and going and trying to kill Sarah. Kids today listen to any music they want at any time they want. They don't have my skills of being able to wait by the radio for 3 hours to push record on record on a cassette player. Then with my precise skills, I'd transfer it and make a mixtape that I could take anywhere. Maybe I'm not behind at the times as much as I thought. I'd like to write more, but my page is going off. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I love you all. I can't wait for more podcasts. It's going to be fun. Some interviews. I got 2 of them lined up, so stay tuned. Hope y'all enjoyed. I know it's a slow news day, but 'tis what 'tis, my loves.